Report on education in Oregon. The Oregon Department of Education released its statewide assessment today.
Fox 12's Amel Elhel joins us now to explain the results.
We're getting our first look at this brand new report that measures academic progress for students across the state in grades 3 through 11. While there are some things to celebrate, there's still a lot of work left to do.
Here are some of the key takeaways. While the results show some areas of progress, Oregon students are still not performing at pre-pandemic levels. In math, students have been making slow and steady improvement since 2021 across nearly every grade level. But the report also shows a steady decline in scores for English language arts. In a news conference today with Portland Public Schools, Superintendent Kimberly Armstrong says PPS schools saw a steady growth in both English language arts and mathematics, noting that there is still a lot of work to do when it comes to reading levels.
I'm proud of the fact that our growth has remained steady. I'm not proud of the fact that we're still in a crisis. Anytime that we don't have 100% of our students reading at grade level, it's a concern. It's a crisis, really. And so when I talk about the citywide literacy campaign, I'm talking about that opportunity for our business leaders, our community partners, our families, and our students to lift up literacy in a way that speaks to the needs that happen in our school. We're continuing education and training around the science of literacy. We're continuing to make sure that our curriculum materials that were adopted are used with fidelity, and we are paying attention to the data.
In the Salem-Keizer School District, overall averages declined by 0.8 percentage points in ELA and by 0.2 percentage points in math. But 15 schools there did improve ELA scores, including Sprague High School, which showed 14.6-point growth over last year. Morningside Elementary School's ELA scores went up 8.3 points. And Bush Forest Ridge Elementary Schools improved over 6 points each. 15 schools showed improvement in math scores, including several elementary schools that boosted results by at least 5 points each.
It is worth noting that the report doesn't point to any specific factor besides the pandemic that could be causing scores to drop, but it does recommend more investment in literary programs and summer and after-school learning. Governor Tina Kotek released a statement saying she's not satisfied with this year's numbers, saying we need to double down on fixing gaps in the education system that she says is failing our students. In studio, I'm at Fox 12 Oregon.